So a quick thought on thinning things. This is a tray full of callaloo. Callaloo's a Caribbean spinach, which I've started growing because it's particularly happy when it gets hot. So in some of our summers we've been having recently, fantastic. If you've got any Caribbean or neighbours, or you are or someone who's come from that culture, callaloo's a big deal. So some of these need thinning. They're way too thick. The seed is tiny. So what I do is take a pair of tweezers and simply go in there and so I'm just thinning them out with a pair of tweezers. It's got to be done now, really, because otherwise they're going to have got too thick. Their roots will have gone too far. So I'm going to just leave one or two like that. It seems very laborious, but actually it's quite quick when you get used to it. Next door I've got a tray of basil, and these are the same. I've never had basil germinate as well as this. Fantastic. I sowed 2 or 3 seeds in each one, thinking that they weren't going to come up, and some of them, like those ones there's loads of basil. Actually, what I'm going to try is some of these little modules, just leaving them as lots in there and see what happens. Otherwise, I've thinned them down to one with a pair of tweezers. And then, of course, if you are thinning them, the other thing you can do is sort of tease them out a little bit, and then if you know what we did before on a previous video of thinning out, you can pull it up by the leaves, and if there's a space which hasn't got one, make a little hole and put it in. So some of these are actually thinnings from where they were too thick. So some things you'd only ever sow singly, like say sweet corn or beans, particularly generally larger seeds, squash, courgettes, beans. You'd be sowing them one at a time, or spaced out in a box ready to transplant. And then smaller things like the callaloo and the basil we've just looked at, you could sow lots in one pot or lots in one module, as I have here. Then there are a few which are slightly counterintuitive, like beetroot. There's a whole lot of beetroot down here, which I've sown in a box. And again, this is just a mushroom tray, so they've gone straight into a mushroom tray. And you can leave them quite thick and then transplant out of there. And then if we panned round, there's some brassica that are definitely going to need to be planted out. So those have been sown, then thinned out, and then quite soon I'm going to put them straight into the garden. And then the next one is coriander, which it doesn't look like it, but I've thinned a bit, and then I'm going to leave in the box. So different ways of doing things, but in general, the bigger the seed, the larger the pot, which hopefully will make some sense. The smaller stuff you can leave to grow a bit more, like grass in a sense. So this coriander is going to stay there. That's just going to turn up as a lawn of coriander that you can snip off straight out of that in the box.